I don't understand what the point of this was. You willingly took part. He might have gotten KSI on a few things, but so far I'm not really being sold on the entire package. It's not like he forced you to do these pranks, so already we come off with a weak point. But he's not going low. He's not being like, yeah, well, I fucked your girl or something. He's not saying anything crazy like that. But for the most part, this whole video just feels like it feels like emotional manipulation. You want Deji to be the bad guy. There's not enough evidence here. There's nothing here to convince me that that's the case. Alright, so let's go over Deji's brand new video he released on his channel called Simply Buy, period. The video is at 2.6 million views. Now, when I began to timestamp this video about like an hour ago, it was at 2.5 million, and now it's well over 2.6. So it's growing at a rapid pace. A lot of people are not only watching it, but agreeing with him. As you can see from the view count right here, as you can see, he's gotten a lot of likes, minimal dislikes, although there are still 24K, but he's still getting, you know, mostly positive reception. And more importantly, if you look at the side view here, that's being blocked by my webcam. 25K subs today. So he's doing very well for himself. It seems like the popular narrative right now is that people are agreeing with this video and siding with Deji, which it's hard not to see why, considering what we're looking at just from the first frame alone. As you can see, he's got the white wall. It's video titled Bye. It's clearly cashing in on the whole, you know, Tati Westbrook Bye Sisters video. But, you know, I'm not just going to simply, like, bash on it and say, like, oh, everything about this was wrong, because as someone who has watched this video, he makes a lot of strong points, but it's, like, coupled with a bunch of, like, weak points. And he talks a lot about how his brother accused him of manipulation, but in the video itself, he ends up doing a lot of manipulation-like tactics. So let me go ahead and pull up my notes right here. I wrote notes. I basically, you can see like on screen right here. I basically, not only did I timestamp everything, but I wrote down a lot of notes about what he was saying on the video. I just typed this up in like 10 minutes, basically. And we're going to be, if it looks like I'm like reading from a screen right now, it's literally because I am, because there's a lot to go over with this video. And, you know, I can't just like memorize all of this before I go and stream. Anyway, let's start with the first thing that I have written down here, which has us going at 7:46, where he talks about the pain his brother caused him to have. So let's see, what is that? 7:46. Let's see. All right, right here.
Caused me pain. So my brother had an idea of.
All right, and for the sake of this video, because I don't want to put like a 30-minute video on this channel, although that it might end up being a 30-minute video, I'm actually going to change the playback speed to 1.5. It's still listenable too, so if you have trouble like listening to it, just if you're watching on YouTube, just watch the video at a lower speed. All right, let's begin.
FIFA slavery FIFA. Some of you guys may have seen the video.
All right, he's talking about a series that his brother started on his channel with Deji called Slavery FIFA. Oh boy, this is gonna be great. I can't wait.
Involves, if the other person scores, you have to get hit with a belt. I'm just gonna whip your head. Let me whip your head. Ow! 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 I don't be like that. Like, obviously at the time, I saw it as all fun and games. But when I look at it now, even today, challenges with my brother, pain is a recurring theme. I mean, even our latest challenge we've done consists of pain. You punched me in the face!
Can I get someone punch? No, you get to call out what you want.
Alright, you get the point here that you're trying to make right at the start, which is that a lot of the videos that he did with his brother involved pain, involved, you know, hitting each other, slapping each other, beating each other with belts or something, you know, slavery FIFA. I don't understand what the point he's trying to make in this. I guess he's trying to say that Deji manipulated him to do these, you know, pranks with him on his channel that involved, like, torturing themselves, basically, and that led to, like, some sort of, like, scarring or something. I don't know if I'm looking too into this, but I don't understand what the point of this was. You willingly took part of, you know, a bunch of, you know, pranks on your brother's channel, and you had no problem with them until now when it's convenient for you to have an issue with them. I can understand, like, looking back on it, like, being like, yeah, you know, that was all fucked up, but you can't really make that as a, you know, strong of an argument right at the start of your video, because you took part in these. It's not like he forced you to do these pranks, so already we come off with a weak point. But don't let that, you know, don't let this initially bad point undermine the whole video, because he does make some good points in here. Let's go to a part where he talks about how KSI basically cucked him, and some trust issues started to show up. I believe I have the timestamp at 9:04, so let's start watching there. 9:04.
Stop with physical pain. It even went to mental pain.
All right, so he talked about the physical pain right at the start, which is right off the bat a weak point. But let's go into the mental pain.
Now, what I'm about to tell you is a secret that affected me immensely. When I say it affected me immensely, I struggled to trust. This is where my trust issues started to really sprout, if I should say. So late 2015, I'm not gonna name the girl. Just
All right, late 2015.
For, out of respect for her. But late 2015, I was talking to this girl for maybe a year and a half. Like, I liked her. I liked this girl. We talked a lot, and yeah, I really did like this girl. Anyway, late 2015, I was doing videos with this girl and everything. Long story short, JJ, knowing that I talked to her, done videos with her and everything, it just came as a surprise when I found out that my brother had slept with her, and that really did affect me.
All right, so right off the bat right here, we have a point where he's making where he was trying to get with the girl, and then he found out his brother, slept with the girl, and that basically, like, fucked him up. Now, let me see. Does he provide any sort of proof for this? No, it's just a story. So in fairness to, KSI, although I don't know why he would lie about this, I'm kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt here that he wouldn't lie, but he doesn't provide any proof. So in fairness to KSI, we can't just say this is 100% fact just yet. However, I have, it's a very believable story, which in that case, this is a strong point against, KSI, and it sort of paints the narrative that we're going to see that he paints along the road as to why he went so hard at KSI last year in 2018. Remember when those two brothers were fighting and everyone was taking basically KSI's side and shitting on Deji? He's doing this to kind of explain the background of his history with his brother, and this point right here is a pretty strong reason, why there might be some, some conflict, so to say, with his brother. What's going on, Tipster, by the way? Okay, let's keep listening to a story right here, and then we'll get to some other points.
And I won't even deny it, I cried for days, because nothing like this has ever ever happened to me, because I really like this girl. I liked her a lot, and obviously upon this happening, I just struggle. I tried talking to her again recently, but I couldn't. I struggled. I really did struggle. Obviously, when I found out that my brother had slept with her, I stopped talking to her because I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. I didn't want this to get in the way of me and my bro. I did confront him about it, but when I confronted him, I acted like I didn't care. I confronted him about it, and he just said, his words were, "She came to me, it's not my fault." And obviously that's stayed in here for a while. I have moved on from that, but it did affect me, and I never had that happen to me, because I cried literally for days. But my parents told me that it was just a learning curve, that you will learn from this, and that's exactly what happened, really. I learned from it. But that's not the only issue I've ever had with my brother.
Okay, and that's a valid point. That's a pretty strong argument to make. And if that story is true, then yeah, KSI was fucked up for doing that. I think it kind of goes without saying. Now, let's see what his next point is on the list here. Okay, now we're going to go into a lot. This is 1236. This has to deal with his slanderous sort of diss track. And let me see. Okay, all right, let's watch some of this, and then I'll add my comments to this, because I think I kind of caught him on something here, but I'm not entirely sure, so let's just watch for context.
Let's move on from all of that. Let's talk the diss track. So a lot of you are wondering why and what made me do the diss track on my brother. Obviously, those things in the later years...
Yeah, and that's a big thing. Like, people are like, why are you making diss tracks and family and shit? I mean, that's kind of like, what is this, like, weird thing? I think that's why a lot of people thought this was fake from the start. I even thought it was fake. Apparently, it's real. Based on this video alone. Thank you for the follow, by the way.
Playing a huge role, but let me explain what really cemented me making a diss track on my brother. So it all started with one of his friends ridiculing my channel.
Name a dead YouTube channel.
Deji.
I didn't appreciate it.
All right, that's weak. That's weak. Nah, come on now. They're calling your channel dead. That's not a personal attack. That's not bringing up family or anything. That's so innocent. All right, so I don't. Yeah, weak point.
With the guy, really. I spent time in America with him, but I didn't see him as a friend. He was close to my brother, so I considered him somewhat family. But I responded like this. You are the sidemen as well as JJ's bitch. You are literally their bitch. You're JJ's camera.
Yeah, overreaction. Yo, mad right now? I mean, what the hell? He called your channel dead. Who cares? What is this overreaction right here?
And he pays your salary. I mean, you spend more time with JJ than you do your own...
Thank you for the bits, by the way, Lady Zubat.
...wife. So I do admit my response was definitely out of line. I should not have mentioned his wife.
And that's fair. All right, if he's going to say his response out of line, that's fair.
His response was just completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. He responded back with a diss track. In his diss track...
Yeah, and I would agree that his response... Well, I don't know. Because the whole thing about diss tracks, I don't take the whole diss track thing seriously. These guys clearly do, as we're going to see in the video, but I don't take the whole diss track thing seriously. So this guy is seeing Deji has this complete overreaction, this meltdown to a simple comment that he made, and he's like, "Hey, I've got ammunition for a diss track. Is that wrong?" I mean, it's a diss track. He's marketing himself. That's smart.
Track, he pretty much mentions everything regarding our trip to LA. He made things that were private public. We had a group chat.
But if he makes the things that are private public, that's a little different. Let's see what he's making public that, is really going to turn this whole thing around. Because right now, I'm not really following through with Deji. I mean, he made a good point earlier when he says in 2015, his brother basically cucked him. All right, that's a pretty good point, why there's like this animosity towards his brother. But so far, video's not really winning me over.
And he pretty much just made everything in that group chat public.
You're right, I've been living in the Sidemen house. I took your room, bitch, they kicked you out because you ain't paying rent. You couldn't find the cash, let me clear the air and take out the dress.
What really upset me, what really hurt me during that whole thing was not the diss track, it was how my brother reacted to his diss track. Instead of my brother keeping neutral or even sticking up for me, instead he was sticking up for his friend, claiming that everything he said in his diss track was true, just supporting him.
Take a joke, you need to relax, G. Back in LA, I was paying for your taxis. You're the poorest rich man.
Hey, that's true.
You're rich and you're famous. Now Daddy, tell me, are you brain dead? Cause you still live with your parents. I got loyalty deep, too busy taking edibles. Backstage,
Oh, no! Right, no! He's spitting a lot of facts, but it's all right.
Pay attention to that. He's spitting a lot of facts. Not the whole thing is factual, but he's spitting a lot of facts.
Just saying every allegation in his diss track was true. And
there was not a clip that was shown there where, KSI outright said everything in that diss track was true. He said he's spitting a lot of facts, not implying that the whole thing was in fact factual. But, from his perspective, I can see the argument that he's trying to make. A lot of people watching, KSI's reaction to the diss track are probably going to come away with the opinion that, hey, yeah, this whole thing is true because KSI is not really, confronting anything that's, factually inaccurate. So I think that's the argument he's trying to make. But it's important to note that at no point KSI said everything is true.
I took that as a low blow. Instead of supporting me, he decided to support his friend. After watching the video where he reacted to his friend's diss track, I called him out of anger. I called him, and when we were on the phone, all he said was, "It's just a bit of banter." That's all he said. He was just saying, "It's just a bit of banter, that you should just respond. It's just, who cares? It's just banter." I dropped the call, I hung up out of anger. And then he texted me this. Him saying, it's YouTube at the end of the day. It's helping my channel in the end. You're going to find out that this is very hypocritical of JJ.
I pay attention to those texts that he just showed right here. In fact, if you're watching, I'd recommend you screenshot these for later because we're about to see these texts later on, which is pretty... it doesn't look good for KSI. All right, let me see what else he's saying. So, yeah, spitting a lot of facts does not equal everything was true. Then he shows text. And at the end of this, he basically says, love is not reciprocal. That's a quote that he says, that love between him and his brother is not reciprocal. So that goes into why Deji made the diss track. Let's go to 1710. So far, he might have gotten KSI on a few things, but so far I'm not really being sold on the entire package. But going into the diss track, we're going to see this whole diss track segment is actually really meaty. And in the process, we're going to see a lot of stuff getting exposed. I'm just looking at my notes right now. We're going to see, a lot of things are said about Deji by KSI's friends that he does nothing, that he knew they were going to say beforehand that he does nothing about. So, that's pretty bad. But let's keep watching.
Bashfulness, it was me being angry. But what really cemented me doing a diss track on my brother, what really just betrayed me, was my brother's friend, his second diss track on me. But not what was said in the diss track. It's the fact that my brother heard the diss track before it went out, and he didn't try and stop it. Which gave me more of a desire to do a diss track on my brother.
I would take a bullet for your brother, but if the trigger's aiming at you, I'ma pull it.
As well as in his second diss track on me, he shows a private video that was between me and my brother in his diss track of us sparring, which was just between myself and my bro. And that was in his diss track.
Cry, sparring at the crib, all we did.
Which further shows that my brother played a part to his second.
All right, so his argument right here is basically that because they showed private sparring footage, that's proof right there that JJ, aka KSI, was working with the dude on the diss track against his brother, which is kind of like a backstabbing move right there. So that's the argument he's saying. All right, fair enough. Let's see. 1714. Yeah, the sparring was just footage for our eyes only. Deji goes on to say that the sparring footage is for our own eyes only, which is something that KSI told him. That's not proof. There's no proof of that message. It's just his word, which I guess you would be inclined to believe if you're on Deji's side, of course. All right, let's go to 1828, which is something that I find very interesting. Let's see, 1828, right here.
You can understand how I was feeling. Now, what was said in his second diss track
Okay, this is Randolph's second diss track that they're talking about right here.
was criminal, it ruined my credibility, and it defamated my character.
What he said in that diss track was criminal, ruined his credibility, and what did he say? It defamed his character?
In his second diss track was criminal, it ruined my credibility, and it defamated my character.
Defamated my character. Is that true? I don't know. I mean, when that diss track came out, was Deji's career over? I don't know. That's some bold claims right there.
Allegations of me getting a girl pregnant and then leaving her, and
Allegations in that diss track included. All right, let me back that up, just in case you didn't hear that.
was criminal, it ruined my credibility, and it defamated my character. Allegations of me getting a girl pregnant and then leaving her, and other things with underage girls.
Oh, that's the strongest argument right here. There was allegations that he was doing underage girls or doing like sketchy, illegal things with underage girls in that diss track. And KSI knew about it beforehand and did nothing about that. He was like, whoa, hold the brakes, that you might want to leave the underage stuff out. That was left in. KSI knew it was left in, and he let it happen. That is a strong argument. And if that's true, then holy shit. You know someone that you're working with is about to release allegations, albeit through a diss track, but still, there's still allegations that, your brother is doing stuff with underage girls, and you're allowing it to happen? If that's true, wow. Okay then. All right then. All right, what else do I have here? Let's see. Getting a girl pregnant. Allegedly, JJ heard the diss track before. That's at 1908 that's said. Let's listen to that here.
I did also confront my brother about this, saying, did you hear it beforehand? And he said yes.
Did you hear it beforehand? He said yes. All right. Deji goes on to say that this diss track put him in a bad place. And then he provides examples of time Deji supported KSI when the media was against him. So basically, he was in the video. He was arguing that I've supported KSI when the media slandered him over some with girls at conventions when he lost his Microsoft sponsorship deal. Anytime that KSI was put in a bad place by the mainstream media, Deji was there to support him, which is what he's saying. Let's see. This is why the diss track was made. And then Deji says that the diss track is 100% fact. That his diss track against KSI was 100% fact. Deji goes on to say in the video that many things done in 2012, there were many things done in 2012 that he won't mention. And then Deji goes on to explain Christmas 2012, and he clarifies that the story of him kicking his brother out of the house on Christmas last year that we all heard was grossly taken out of context. I believe he explains this right here.
Manipulation on Christmas comes, and I'm going to explain it in depth. So the situation of me kicking my brother out on Christmas has been taken out of context incredibly. So my brother and I, when I was in LA, we agreed to talk, but my brother, he didn't come to talk, he came to fight. Instead of coming to talk, he threatened to smash my computer, and he was acting irate. He was just acting so erratic. I couldn't explain it. Upon threatening to smash my computer, I locked myself in my office just so he couldn't do so. And
I locked myself in my office.
little did I know, this whole situation, my brother was recording the whole situation. Which further shows my brother's manipulation, considering he asked to talk.
So he was going complete, ape shit, right? He was, he was threatening to smash things. You had to lock yourself in your office for your own safety while he had a camera out recording you. Jesus.
We agreed to talk, and he came for a fight. As I locked myself in my office, he threatened to smash the door, saying he will smash the door down. Obviously, my parents stopping him. For the safety of my parents, and due to his behavior, I asked him if he could leave my house or I'll call the police. Which he recorded and took out of context completely. So he tweeted this out. The voice message of me saying, leave my house or I'll call the police. He tweeted that out, causing fans to just turn on me. They turned on me. Not knowing the situation or why I told him to leave my house. The fans turned on me, further showing how he just manipulated the situation.
It's always not my fault. Couldn't be asked anymore. Can't get that house. Bro says he owns the house. Said he'll call the police if I stay. My parents just look at him and allow it. This shit is fucked, man. After all the years of helping this boy, just sad. Whatever you do, you fam. Notice this whole narrative that both of them are always like, I've helped you for years, but you didn't do anything, I don't think, there's definitely manipulation going on, but I think it's on both ends. I've recorded our conversation. You won't get out of this one.
Shut the fuck up.
All right.
Yes, but this is my house. I don't want him here. What the hell? I've already said that.
Okay, whatever. He's playing the audio that Deji's already explained. Now let me pull up my notes here. All right. So yeah, basically he's saying that the whole Christmas 2018 narrative was taken out of context. His brother was acting apeshit, causing him to kick KSI out of the house for the safety of his own parents. Deji goes on to say in the video, I recorded when I locked myself in the office for my own safety. So not only was KSI recording, but Deji was also recording as soon as he locked himself in the office for his own safety. And by the way, if you want to watch the video for yourself, it'll be linked in the description that you can watch yourself, so you can see that I'm not taking, this video out of context. I'm just not going to play the whole thing because, it's stealing someone else's content. I'm just playing the parts that matter when it makes sense to listen to the actual video. Anyway, Deji goes on to say, let's see. Deji goes on to say that JJ played victim. Everyone ignored me. Deji says, I regret kicking him out on Christmas, but I did for the safety of my parents. And then Deji begins to say, I was getting thoughts of maybe life was better without me. And this is after that KSI was making all these tweets and everyone was turning on him and unsubbing from his channel. Deji basically goes on to allude that he was committing, not that he was committing, that he was thinking of committing suicide. Deji says, I was getting thoughts of maybe life was better without me. What was the point? I was getting the thoughts in my head and I didn't know how to go. It sucked. I honestly thought, what was the purpose of living? So Deji basically alludes that he was suicidal after this whole incident took place. Deji asked, okay, this is a separate instance where Deji, in January, asked KSI if he could stop shit-talking him in videos, and KSI told him to take down the diss track. Now, do you remember that those texts I told you to screenshot? This is when the context of those are revealed right here.
I privated the diss track. The diss track had been made private, and I then told my brother to stop trash-talking me in videos, which he did not stop. He carried on trash-talking me in videos even after I put the diss.
Okay, so for context, in January, he had asked KSI if KSI could stop shit-talking him in videos so that people would unsub his account. KSI responded, then take down the diss track. This is when he shows the text to prove KSI's hypocrisy.
Track down.
Alright, this is my brother's text. From now on, please refrain from talking about me in your videos. Move on. If someone else talks about you, leave my name out of it. I'll never mention you again. I don't need to mention you. You, on the other hand, do, so refrain from doing so. Well done on getting your views up by talking about me, but it stops now. Have fun in LA and try not to do anything stupid.
Terrible decisions that ruin one's career, and Deji's just iron.
Alright, this is proof that after Deji took down the diss track, which, by the way, I did verify on Social Blade, if you can see... let me get rid of my camera frame here. Okay, if you can see right here, he took down the video on January 6th, which is what he alleges in the video, which is verified to be true through Social Blade. Alright? So, this is proof that even after he took down the diss track on January 6th, KSI didn't live up to his end of the deal, which was to stop talking about Deji in videos. January 7th, the very next day, he goes on to shit-talk Deji.
That bad boy. We have to start with the Deji memes, okay? Only in this video we'll talk about it, but after that, we can't do any more, okay? Deji.
January 14th.
This is like the first Deji one we've seen, so I guess that's progress. Back in LA, I was paying for your taxi. Hard to climb.
January 12th, 20th.
He kept using me as a laughing post in his Reddit videos that he made and other videos when he could easily just avoid the topic, but he didn't. He didn't acknowledge anything I said where I told him to stop trash talking me. This intentionally put me more and more in a dark place.
Alright, this is when he goes on to say that he was basically like suicidal because of all of this hate that he was getting online, which I'm not going to speculate. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's very easy to say that, just being sad on a particular period could, lead you down dark paths. Like, I don't know how genuine this is that he was in like a quote-unquote dark place. Like, we all get on dark places every, once in a while. It doesn't mean we all, start contemplating suicide. So I don't know if I'm buying that argument, but that's what he alleges, so that's his word. Let me see what else he has here. Okay, hypocrisy revealed. Basically, now, with that whole argument that basically, let me go ahead and point that out. It was 32:16 where the texts were shown.
going back to my brother's texts, at the end of the day, it's just a diss track. And it's helping his channel. It's exactly what it was doing.
Yeah, okay, so when KSI basically... Whoops. Alright, where is it?
Yes. Where his only response was for me to delete the diss track. But then, look, going back to my brother's texts, at the end of the day...
Okay, so KSI's response where, take down the diss track is hypocritical because he basically said earlier when... the diss track was made on Deji, he told Deji, it's just a diss track, man, it's just YouTube. And then here he wants Deji to take down the diss track on him, which shows hypocrisy. So, yeah, that doesn't look good for KSI, but KSI's only real defense would be, well, if I can't shit talk you, take your song down shitting on me. However, before he said that, the diss track helps, so wouldn't he want it back up? It doesn't really make a lot of sense for KSI. All right, let's go through the allegations here. Okay, so he goes on to say, yeah, put me in a dark place. Deji realized that taking down the diss track was pointless and only for Deji's benefit, so he re-uploaded the diss track, which is fair. What else? Let's see. Okay, this is when Deji's video starts to get really, really, really bad. He attacks people when they are down. This is an argument he makes, citing Joe Weller. Apparently KSI made a video shit-talking Joe Weller after they had their famous fight. Who cares? And then he brings up Net Nobody and Baby Mama, where KSI made a diss track on Net Nobody and included Net Nobody's ex-girlfriend, the Baby Mama. And he says that's it's hitting people where where it hurts, where he's low, which I actually agree with that argument. But you had no issue with this at that time. You're only having the issue now when it's convenient. I'll never play that part again. Let's see what else he says. Deji brings up arguments that KSI is passive-aggressive. He pulls up a video of KSI wanting his second channel to get more subs than Deji, which is an obvious joke. He then shows a video of KSI jokingly unsubbing from Deji, obviously a joke. And then Deji then argues that his fans will also unsub from Deji if KSI, jokingly unsubs from Deji in a video. He's basically arguing that that's damage to him somehow. Obviously a joke. He pulls out a lot of things that are obvious jokes, and he tries to say that, KSI, is like this big bully or something. Not really buying that narrative, I'll be honest with you. Deji then goes on to say, I don't know how to look up my YouTube analytics. That's how little I care about the numbers. Obvious bullshit. I mean, hell, do you want to know how easy it is to look up your YouTube analytics? Let's see right here. Let me show you guys how easy it is to load up your YouTube analytics. You guys are going to laugh when you see this. Which channel am I sub to? Welcome. All right. I'm on my channel right now. So let's look at my last video. What Pro Jared never expected. There's literally a button called Analytics, and he says he doesn't know how to open his analytics. It's a button. You click it. That's how easy it is. Jesus. So yeah, I'm not buying that argument either. Really, I'm looking through my notes right now. Excuse me. Oh my god. What else does he say? He shows a private... Oh, this is actually pretty good. He shows a private video that him and KSI recorded that he didn't upload because KSI was just belittling him so much. Let's take a look at this private footage of KSI right here.
I'll punch
So
you.
retarded.
Oh, I'm retarded.
You are retarded.
I'm looking at the monster.
my God.
You're looking at a fucking door.
So dumb.
Fam, you're dumb. Don't call me dumb.
You're looking down at this.
Yeah, because I'm
Play
scared.
the fucking game.
What else
Don't
are
be
you
a
doing?
pussy.
You play then.
No, what the fuck does that mean?
You play.
I'm not a pussy, but you play.
Yeah,
Shut up,
you
play, man.
play.
Don't piss me off.
Play.
No, you piss me off.
No, you treat me like shit. You play.
I'm not treating you like shit.
Don't call me dumb.
I told you to go.
Don't call me dumb.
It's just two brothers bitching at each other. There's nothing really... there's no abuse here. He's not going low. He's not being like, yeah, well, I fucked your girl or something. He's not saying anything crazy like that. It's just two brothers bitching. This is like what he considers like belittling behind the scenes. Not a good example. Not a good example to say the least. What else does he include here? Let's see. Deji says, my parents had to remind him of his mom's birthday. I forget my parents' birthday all the time. Is that really a crazy thing? Who doesn't forget their parents' birthday? Deji then shows text from JJ and his dad at 44:09. I guess I'll show that. Okay, let's look at these texts from him and his dad. Didn't give you permission to record that call. If I see it go public, I'm copyrighting the video. I'm not. You should know better. I don't know you guys anymore. Everything I do, you spit it back in my face. It's not fear-blaming your mom and I for that relationship that you have got with your bro. You can't even wish your mom happy birthday. It's just a son and his father talking and arguing. This is normal. These are bad arguments. You know, it's something I noticed when I was watching this video. I was initially on Deji's side for the most part. I mean, I pointed out that there was a lot of bad arguments, but I was for the most part on his side. What I'm realizing now is that Deji makes the argument that basically that KSI makes a lot of arguments that Deji, pulls the victim card a lot and that he manipulates, and then Deji spins it around and is like, no, you're the manipulator, actually. But even looking from this own video, I pointed this out right from the start, from the very first frame of this video. It's a white room. The video is titled Bye. What does this remind you of? Yeah, this is what it reminds you of. It's the same thing over and over again. He's capitalizing on what's a trend right now to get back at his brother. And I'll go this far, potentially to, save his dead channel. I mean, let's look at his channel right now. Now, this might be a leap. I'll admit that. This is pure speculation. But look at his channel. Look at all the red. In fact, I'll blow it up for you if you can't see it that well. Look at all this. Negative 5,000, negative 5,000, negative 1,000. Suddenly, when he calls out his brother again, just like last time, once again it works. So is it crazy to assume that this might just be, him jumping on a trend right now? I don't know. The video has a few good points. I mean, it points out that some genuinely dickish things that KSI has done. And I'm more interested in the part where KSI knew that the dude was going to make pedo allegations against Deji, essentially. And he did nothing to stop it. I'm interested in that. But for the most part, this whole video just feels like it feels like emotional manipulation. You want Deji to be the bad guy. You want him to be the bully, the abused guy, so you can stick up for him or something like that. There's not enough evidence here. There's nothing here to convince me that that's the case. Like, this video just reeks of bullshit. I don't know. I wasn't convinced watching this video. Let me see right here. Yeah, I'm not convinced. Sorry, because I was on your... I want to be on your side because, you're emotionally manipulating the audience. But I just can't. There's not enough here. Nope. No can do. That's not to say I'm on KSI's side either. I'm not on neither of these guys' side. I think they're both assholes. But this video, it just reeks of, Me Too-esque bullshit. No. Sorry. Not gonna do. Alright, that's going to be enough of my coverage on this situation. I want to give a shout out to my patrons, who, by the way, if you want to get your name shout out in the video, then all you have to do is become a patron or a YouTube member, and you can see you get some more perks other than getting your name in the video. Shout out to JJ Kirby and Gregorios Mestis for being my patrons, and my only channel member currently, which is the YouTuber Scrubby, the OG YouTuber. Go give him a sub. His link's in the description, as all your links are if you become a member of the channel or a $5 tier patron. My name's AuggieRFC, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care, everyone.